Hey YouTube. Well, I know it's been a while. I'm kind of sorry about that. We've been really busy here as a family. This spring I put in a pool for at home, put a fence up, built a deck around, or a partial deck around it. But I do have some videos coming up. This will be the first one in a while, but I did do some stuff to the Ram, which for those of you that don't know or are interested in learning, it's a 2022 Ram 2500 Laramie with a 6.4 gas. As I said before, I've got a few modifications done to it. Nothing crazy. I mean, no lift kits, no anything crazy on it. It's got muffler delete with a piece, basically a section of pipe put in. 35-inch tires on 18s with 0 offset. The mud flaps are built for it, which you guys can watch that video farther back that shows how I built them. And I haven't polished the wheels, but that will be the next video coming up after this one. But I do have something else that I added to the Ram that I have been working on for a while. And I know I told you guys that the headache rack, I'd been working on it, which I was, until I kind of ran into a snag. So for those of you that have built a headache rack for your truck, and you're like, well, I basically just mount it on the bed rails or however you did it, and you're like, yeah, no problem. Well, that's great whenever it's mounted to the surface of the bed rail. But I did not want to give up my tonneau cover, which has the American flag on it. Basically, I didn't want to give up my tonneau cover regardless anyway. So I was trying to figure out a way to make the headache rack that I had already started building work, which I got to a point where nobody had a bracket mounted or made for that, and I could have went through the process of making one like what I bought, but I did not. It turned out that we had a rack at work that had got brought back in because of paint coming off of it, and it had some defects that the manufacturer warranted. So I ended up getting that rack from work. But the brackets, before I even show you any of this, I'm just going to explain. The brackets came off of realtruck.com. All the lights that are in this rack did come off of Amazon. I do not have a link. It was quite a while ago, as most of you know, that I bought these lights, and I had planned on doing a lot more, but once I started on it, I wanted something that was set different from everybody else, but I didn't want to be crazy with it. And I did have the body shop at work. They painted it gloss black. I think it looks great, especially for a truck that, would I say it's exactly precision show quality? Nah. But would I say for a person that's going to drive it day to day, clean your truck up a little bit, and then, sorry, I've got gnats or something in here. And, you drive by and people will see it. I think that it looks good up close. It's nothing fancy. My truck is dirty right now because we did just come from the country festival near us. And, well, it's got dust and dirt, and it did rain here today. So, well, without further ado, so there is the side. Here are the brackets that I had to buy. Basically, they cup around here, and then they go on the bed rail. Well, then your stake pocket that is right here, there's a bolt that goes through, and it kind of pulls everything down. And then this bracket mounts on top of here, which then cradles the headache rack. And then it's one bolt through there. And as you can see, I ran my wires through here to go down to hook into a 7-pin harness, as in what most of you had seen on my previous video of what I was planning on doing with the other rack that I got. So the modifications I did to this rack, you guys, I'll do a slideshow basically at the end of this video, showing how it started and how it is now. But it's got 3 marker blinker lights on the side. It's got the halo style stop turn tails, and then those are just marker clear reds. 6 of those across there, 3 on each side here, and then 2 of those on each side, or 1 on each side. Sorry. So I do have it kind of in a fashion that I was thinking about adding some work lights, like small work lights, like right, you know, on the inside of the tube, because there is holes for that to be ran. But I did not build it for, you know, it to get, you know, basically beat the crap out of. I basically built it for a protector of my truck, just in case if I pinched our 5th wheel camper off a little too tight and it touched something. I'd rather have it touch that than touch the back of my cab. Bodywork is not expensive, or not cheap. Sorry. So I basically, what we ended up doing was I welded, so this rack came with the 2 center tubes and the center crossbar. I bought these 2-inch by 1/8-inch wall, I believe, tubes, and I ended up cutting this down, this flat steel here. I cut it down there. I bent it in so that this would match my angle of my cab. And then I bought some, I think that's 6-inch by 2-inch, a rectangle tube for my oval lights. And then those all got, so I built a wiring harness. It starts there, goes down, same thing over there. I was going to do it all as one harness, but it just didn't work out that way. So there is another hole here in the rack that runs down below, and then I have a connector harness that, for most of you that have done any wiring or fabrication to add lights, I am one that I do not like to tie into harnesses, like hardwire them, just because that kind of ruins the strength of that wiring harness, I feel like. You know, in Wisconsin, we get, you know, you get winter time and you get summer and spring and whatever and rain. Well, if you have open wiring and stuff like that, it just, well, corrosion. So without anything being manipulated as far as hardwiring, I just bought a 7-pin, basically it's a gooseneck wiring harness, which I teed off of the one that I already have for the gooseneck harness. So basically it's just a plug-and-play system right behind your 7-pin, down like right below here, I think. And then I just ran it across, and then it runs up the frame rail, and then it's got the 4 wires that I needed to run all of my lights. But without further ado, I will show you guys. I'll turn the lights on and you guys can see what you think. So there is the markers on. Like I said, I personally, I really like the look of this. This is exactly what I've been trying to go for a long time. And I just never had the right truck, I felt like, to put a rack like this on. I just never really felt like I built a truck that, or put a truck together that had kind of this setup on it. But I think it looks very good on this truck. And then I like the fact that if I'm going down the road and you're next to a semi, or coming up next to a semi that, you know, let's just say, or for whatever reason I have the camper on, you know, your taillights are kind of, I wouldn't say covered by your camper, but there's, you know, your camper sticks out. So not saying that someone won't see your blinker going on, but if they're hanging out kind of kitty corner to your camper, They should be able to see these, and then I'll turn the blinker on. Oh, I gotta have it on start. Sorry. So there is the blinker on the left side with the oval light, and then you've got, go over here, set you up over here so you can see this side. So there's that side. And I'm guessing you guys probably want to see the tail lights, the brake lights. And these do not have reverse lights in them. They, I just didn't feel the need for it, but if I do put work lights in here, I will tie that into reverse also with a switch, just so that whenever I, basically if I feel like I need to be able to see in the box, or if I've got a car trailer on, I have that option. But for right now, I think we'll run it like this for right now, and if we feel like we need or have the need for work lights, I will add them. But that's all that I've got really for this video right now, guys. I hope you guys like it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I just felt like it was something that you don't see a whole lot of. People do, at least not in my area. Which I feel like it turned out exactly the way that I wanted it. And then you guys can also see that I did, I cut it down so that it wasn't above the cab, because, well, if you're driving on the road, for those of you that do have them above the cab, you can probably attest to the howling that it pushes the air down in between the cab and the box, and then you get that howl or that drone in the cab. I took out, I believe, 2.5 inches out of this rack and dropped it down, and then so essentially I just cut out right where these tubes meet this tube, this bottom cross tube. I just took ground on the old weld, separated it, measured up 2.5 inches, cut it, and then brought it back down. So again, is it perfect? Nope. Is it perfect to me? Yeah, I like it. I've got no complaints yet. So we'll keep you guys tuned in on it. And like I said, I think the next video is we're gonna do something with these wheels, because, well, the back ones aren't nearly as bad as the front ones, but point out to you what we have going on here and see what you guys think, because I personally think that they look like trash. Which maybe on video they don't look that bad, but I've had them shinier than this. It's been about, I would say it's been almost 2 years since I did these wheels last. And like I said, they are getting that gritty, pitted kind of look, and then you've got the brake dust on there. So I would say that we will have, depending on how it goes, I would say we got 4 hours into polishing wheels, which 4 hours, and then for them to last almost 2 years, I'm pretty happy with my non-professional polishing expertise. So anyway, there you have it, guys. And then obviously, since we've pretty much shown you everything else, there is the mud flaps, and those were built last winter, I believe, or last fall, I can't remember. And I'll probably just take and clean those up, but stainless seems to hold up better as far as polishing goes. So yeah, but I'll let you guys know whenever I've got something more to add to the truck, or other than just the polishing of the wheels. I'll probably wash this thing and clean it up by hand because it looks like junk right now. All right, thanks guys.